City Council meeting. This is our regular meeting. Today is Tuesday, February 8th, 2022, and it's 7:30 p.m. I'll call this meeting to order, and we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Before we begin our agenda, Drew Sanders, would you like to introduce the guest?
Yes, I would, Mayor. Thank you very much. This evening we have with us another new director that we've hired, Rachel Marchbanks. And I'd just like to give her an introduction to council and then let her go on to be with her family for the rest of the evening. So Rachel Marchbanks is our new Community and Economic Development Director. Prior to joining Cortez, she was the Economic Development Coordinator for the town of Mancos, and also wrote grants and worked on economic development initiatives for Montezuma County. What we didn't put in here is she was also a former mayor of Mancos. In her previous role, she helped Mancos launch a business recruitment website, produced an e-newsletter for local businesses, and helped distribute $90,000 in CARES funds to help businesses recover from the pandemic. She successfully wrote a grant proposal for $470,000 for a facade and energy improvements for downtown businesses as part of DOLA's Main Street Open for Business initiative. She helped develop incentives for business growth and attraction and initiated the planning of a co-worker space. She assisted the Montezuma County as well as Dolores County and the Ute Mountain Tribe in submitting a successful grant under the DOLA Regional Roadmap Program for technical assistance to further economic development efforts in the region, and has spearheaded an effort to fund and hire an economic development coordinator for the county. As part of the Montezuma County Economic Development Team, she accepted an award for the Economic Development Council of Colorado, or from them anyway, for their initiative and collaborative efforts in 2021. Additionally, Rachel has 12 years experience as a publisher of a national magazine and 9 years experience as a public official, including 4 years as mayor. I didn't see that part earlier, sorry. In 2018, she completed her master's degree in public administration, or public policy, which was part of the New Directions program at the University of Colorado, Denver. So Rachel, if you could stand up so everybody can see who you are. I'd like to welcome her here. And by the way, Creighton Wright is here next to her. I'm really pleased and proud of both of them because they are both already offering contributions. So thanks for coming, both of you.
Welcome, Rachel. We appreciate your being here tonight. Thank you. Okay, we'll begin the agenda. The first item is a consent agenda. It's a listing of a group of items to be acted on with a single motion and vote. This agenda is designed to expedite the handling of limited routine matters by City Council. Either the public or a council member may request that an item be removed from the consent agenda at that time prior to council's vote. The mayor will ask if a citizen or council member wishes to have any specific item removed from the consent agenda for discussion. First item is approval of the minutes for the work session and regular council meeting held on January 25th, 2022. B, expenditure list for February 8th, 2022 City Council meeting. Approval of a renewal and restaurant liquor license for El Burro Pancho LLC DBA Gustavo's Authentic Mexican Restaurant and Bar located at 125 East Main Street, number A, Cortez. Approval of a renewal hotel and restaurant liquor license for Hunan Kitchen Incorporated, DBA Hunan Chinese Restaurant, located at 2561 East Main Street, Cortez.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Kiefhoffer.
Aye.
Medina.
Aye.
Rainey.
Aye.
Yazzie.
Aye.
Dobry.
Aye.
Levy.
Aye. Thank you. Our next item is citizen participation. 6 citizens may be allowed to address council. No member of the public may comment more than once at any meeting, nor shall any person be seated time of another commenter. Are there any citizens that wish to participate this evening? Okay. You, would you go up to the podium, sir, and make sure your microphone is turned on? The blue, green light should be on. Okay, there's a button in front. Just push that.
Okay.
Okay, just state your name and address.
My name is Manny Neves. I've been working for the city trash for 13 years now. And I just found out that we're getting outsourced. And I don't mind that so much, but I went down to our competitor, and Waste Management is already working on a paper to present you to all you for their service. And I don't appreciate it, and I know my fellow workers don't appreciate it, but that's the way it is, and that's my business, and if I get fired, that's fine. But thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate your coming tonight. Are there any other citizens wishing to participate? Okay, we'll move on to unfinished business. First item is intergovernmental agreement forming Southwest Opioid Response District. Drew Sanders, City Manager.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. If you'll recall, this was tabled 2 meetings ago for some updates that we'd received prior to the meeting. So if you recall, a couple of months ago, we signed the IGA with the state to receive opioid funds, and then the second part of that is to form opioid response district within our region here. And so that's what we are signing here, is just this next step of this so that we can get closer to receiving those funds. There is quite a bit of participation in the county that will be, it'll be hosted in La Plata County for the foreseeable future, but we will be participating whether through the city or the county governments. We recommend that you pass this and allow us to sign this, or the mayor to sign this agreement.
Thank you, Drew. Are there any questions or comments from the council?
I have a question about representation on the board. So it says that it's 1 person from each county, and then there's a rotating city. So I guess I know we're not there yet, but do we have an idea of what that's going to look like and how we're going to determine who's that? And
yeah, we just got together as the managers and tried to nominate somebody that we thought was available and was willing to do it. Originally, Chief Knuckles was going to be our law enforcement rep. However, Mancus feels strongly that they want Marshall Goodall to be the first rep, and we agreed with that because we feel like Marshall Goodall will represent, and Jack Powers will represent us just fine. So we're totally amenable to that, and when it comes to our turn, we're happy to serve as well.
okay, thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to authorize the mayor to execute the attached IGA with with the above-mentioned participating government partners to form the Southwest Opioid Response District.
Second.
Medina.
Aye.
Yazzie.
Aye.
Rainey.
Aye.
Dobry.
Aye.
Kiefhoffer.
Aye.
Levy.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, under new business, first item is bid for tractor with backhoe for Parks Department. Rick Smith, good evening, Rick.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council. The 2022 Equipment Fund provides $68,000 for the purchase of a new tractor and backhoe combination for the City Parks Department. This new unit will go into parks and it will replace unit number 620, which is a 2012 Kubota tractor, which will be transferred to the golf course. And the oldest unit in the fleet, which is unit 547, will go on the back end of this for the auction and sale. Specifications were drawn up on January 27th. We had the bid opening. We received 2 responses to our bid request. The low bidder was Southwest Agriculture with a Kubota at $66,794.07. That is $1,205.93 below the budgeted amount. And as I mentioned earlier, that is in the equipment fund budget.
So you're replacing 2 pieces of equipment with one?
No, we're just moving. We're
Okay.
buying one, getting rid of one, but we're moving the better one to the golf course to replace the worse one,
Okay.
to make it more confusing.
Is the tractor available now? Or
Yes.
or in the near future? Okay, thank you.
How much,
That's a very good question in today's day and age, believe me.
how much do we usually make at the auctions, and then does that money just go back into the equipment fund?
The money does go back into the equipment fund, and you would be surprised, those old tractors, what they bring on the back end on the auction. I wouldn't guess, but they go more than what you'd think they would normally. They're perfect for the small 3-acre farm, 6 acre, something like that, you know?
Is Southwest Agriculture that place that's north of town, just north of Cortez? or-
No, that was the second bidder. That, you're
Okay.
thinking of Stoltz Equipment. They bid a John Deere.
Is there a difference in Kubota and John Deere in terms of reliability and performance? Or are
We
they pretty,
bid the-
pretty equal?
We bid the specs based on horsepower and PTO performance and the backhoe, and this, it was a performance specification.
Okay.
And it's just a difference in the 2 manufacturers.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments? I have a motion on this item.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to award the 2022 tractor with backhoe bid to the low bidder, Southwest Agriculture, in the bid amount of $66,794.07.
Second.
Yazzie.
Aye.
Kiefhoffer.
Aye.
Dobry.
Aye.
Medina.
Aye.
Rainey.
Aye.
Levy.
Aye. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you very much.
The next item on our agenda is modification of premises for chronic therapy for a walk-up window. Linda Smith, good evening, Linda.
Tonight, Council, City Attorney Mike Green is going to present this.
Okay.
Good evening, Council Mayor. During the COVID crisis, the most serious time, the state had authorized walk-up windows as an emergency measure to minimize contact. It proved to be successful, so they've passed rules and regulations allowing for walk-up windows at marijuana commercial outlets. We just passed an ordinance allowing walk-up windows as well here in the city of Cortez. Chronic Therapy had a walk-up window. They would like to make it permanent. It's my understanding we had no incidents involving the use of their walk-up window during the COVID crisis. So staff looking at it this way, the building inspector and everyone feels this is appropriate to allow them to have the walk-up window. Doesn't require any attention from planning and zoning. It's simply a modification of the premise to put this window to use. We are supposed to approve this before the state approves it, is my understanding. And so tonight, staff is recommending that you approve a walk-up window modification of premises for chronic therapy.
Any questions, council? Comments? Can I have a motion on this item, please?
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that the council approve a modification of premises for chronic therapy, Cortez LLC, located at 1020 South Broadway, Cortez, to allow compliance for a walk-up window on their premises.
Second.
Dobry,
Aye.
Kiefhoffer,
Aye.
Rainey,
Aye.
Yazzie,
Aye.
Medina,
Aye.
Levy.
Aye. Thank you. Next item is resolution number 6, series 2022. Council will consider approving resolution number 6, series 2022. Resolution for an amendment to contract between City of Cortez Council and Drew Sanders, City Manager. And I believe this is a clarification. Mike Green.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. The contract with the city manager is traditionally, well, I shouldn't say traditionally, but the last 2 times has been silent on the matter of cost of living raises. And while it appears from discussing the matter with the councils that it was intended to happen, payroll wants something on paper that says the manager's entitled to the same raises the other employees get for cost of living, et cetera. So basically, that's all this amendment does, is spell this out for payroll, that it's one of the other employee benefits that the manager's entitled to. It's not, Mr. Doherty had some situations with this with payroll as well, and we ended up working something out with council and payroll at the end. And so all we're doing is putting on paper something that appears to have been agreed to by council and Mr. Sanders, so that there's a record of it, maybe is the better way to say, for payroll, to justify giving him that money in their books. So staff recommends, I guess it's me, I recommend passage of the resolution to put that in his contract, that he's entitled to the same cost of living raises that the other employees for the city get.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Are there questions or comments from the council?
I guess I just have a question, because we review your contract every year, I assume. And do we negotiate your salary as well then too? So I guess when does each play in?
I'm not sure there's a regular time for the cost of living raises, because they don't always happen, okay? But the annual evaluation and review should be a regular thing between council and the manager. And perhaps that's why this has been problematic, is this isn't a regularly scheduled event for everybody. And so that's why we should put it in the contract, so that it's memorialized.
Okay, thank you.
I just had one other, more of a clarification. So the resolution is for the contract between the city and city manager Drew Sanders. This isn't setting a city policy for city managers. Is that correct?
No, sir, that would be something we'd have to put in perhaps the policy manual, the employee manual, whatever we're calling it. But everything about the manager, I don't think he's in the personnel policy manual like everybody else is. He's mentioned, but he is your employee, so you negotiate a contract with him for the terms.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we weren't diminishing the future negotiation abilities of our council or future council.
No, sir.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 6, series 2022, a resolution for an amendment to the contract between City of Cortez Council and Drew Sanders, City Manager.
Second.
Did someone make a second?
David.
David did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't hear him. Thank you, David. Rainey,
Aye.
Medina,
Aye.
Kiefhoffer,
Aye.
Yazzie,
Aye.
Dobry,
Aye.
Leahy.
Aye. Thank you. That concludes our items. Next item is city manager report. Drew, do you have anything?
I do, Mayor. Thank you very much. And thank you, council. A couple of updates. Our broadband RFP to go out to lease our broadband system will go out tomorrow. Rick is, we've got that finalized today. He just needs to put it out. And I've already pointed out, Rachel Marchbanks has been hired and onboarding, and she's already making contributions. And I was really pleased to see her out at the workshop at the airport today. Also, as part of our effort to get a new essential air service in here, I would just like to remind the community that we really need your input and we really need your comments. If you can go to cleargov.com, so CLEARGOV.com, and at the top bar there's a search space there. Type in Cortez, and it should be for the project that's in there. If we can get you to make your comments about what you'd like to see with the next essential air service, that would greatly benefit all of us. Then I wanted to take a minute, council, and just talk about the refuse program today. It's no secret out there that this has been a topic of discussion. I will tell you that as part of our values as a city, that we treat our employees and coworkers honorably and well. And as part of that, as I did approach them yesterday, and I advised them that this is a possibility of outsourcing it and explain the problem. Unfortunately, that one of the workers up there opted to put that out on social media, which has led to all kinds of consternation and misunderstandings and just flat out misinformation out there. So unfortunately, we would normally come to the community with a package of this is what the problem is, this is what our proposed solution is, but that choice was taken away from us, so I'm going to discuss it this evening. So I do have one point of clarification, and I think Manny here that spoke to you, I learned just immediately before this meeting that the rumor is out there amongst our employees that somehow I have been in contract negotiations with Waste Management for months, which is absolutely untrue. I have not spoken to anybody there, and I don't know where that information came from, but that is a piece of information that I would like on the record and clarified that that has not been the case. What this is about, council, and as you know, that this is all about our fiduciary responsibility to our community, our stewardship that we owe the taxpayers to manage their money. And as we have looked at this problem, and I presented it to you, and just as a reminder to everybody in the community, this started with me, and I am the one who pointed out the problem, and I also am accountable for everything I do and say about this, and any guile about that should be pointed at me if there is any. However, I do ask you to bear with us and get some of the facts. Here they are. Last year, costs exceeded revenues in the refuse fund by $169,361.27. We also need to invest in at least 2 new trucks that range in cost from $250,000 to $450,000. I mean, depending on what the current prices are and the type of truck we get. Also, our shop fund costs, that's and by and large going to repair our current and existing trucks, has skyrocketed. We are budgeted for $1.01 million in that fund this next year, or for fiscal year 22, which is up from $875,000 in 21, $854,000 in fiscal year 20, and like it says, much of that, not all of it, but much of it is due to having to repair our aging refuse fleet. Also, just to be quite honest, our workers' comp premiums are exceptionally high. We have, our current assessment or our insurance premiums are $230,000 for fiscal year '22. That is up from $196,000 in the fiscal year '21 and $200,000 in fiscal year '20. And unfortunately, you know, refuse is a dirty, or not a dirty, but a dangerous position, and injuries do occur, but that is the source of this. So between all of those, we are hemorrhaging an awful lot of money, and we would not be good stewards, and we would not be accountable very well to the community if we did not address this. And so that's exactly what we're doing. So I am, and I believe council probably is too, open to all options, but as I've analyzed this, I don't see a lot of other options that are going to be out there for us. So we owe it to the taxpayer to do the right thing with their funding, and this is where we're at. So I am open to any questions and if, other concerns, but I do like the idea that we at least get some facts out there and realize that this is not about laying people off. We want to absorb them and find any way we can to maintain jobs while being fiscally responsible. The easy thing for us to do, and the easy thing for me to do, would have just been to kind of maintain course and speed and just let it happen. That's not the right thing to do. The right thing to do is to bring it to our council and address the problem as we found it. Thank you.
Thank you, Drew. I have a question. How many personnel are involved in the refuse department?
Well, there are 7 members. There's a supervisor and 6 refuse workers. There is a 8th person that's actually attached budgetarily to it that's a maintenance worker.
Thank you.
Drew, I brought up before that we don't want if we put this out to bid, we don't want a company to come in and instantly raise prices. I know that's a concern for a lot of citizens that, you know,
Sure.
prices will double or triple immediately. And could you maybe address that as well?
Sure. The short answer to that is it's just not the case. So the only thing the residents are going to notice, at least immediately, is maybe a different colored truck showing up and a different poly cart, a different garbage can. How this would work is that the refuse company, whoever is selected, would we would have to pay them a fee for, you know, whatever the scope of the work is throughout the year. We would bill our customers or our residents, and they would pay the city directly. So the whole idea is to control costs. However, if we are to maintain our current course without doing anything, we will have to raise garbage rates significantly to the point of easily probably doubling them. But if we go another route, we can control those costs quite easily. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Does this affect the recycling program at all?
No, Mayor, it does not. The recycling program will not be touched. It will remain in place,
Okay,
which is a community value that we want to maintain.
right. Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Thank you, Drew. Appreciate your input. It's a tough problem when we have to deal with personnel and jobs. I'm encouraged that we're going to absorb them back into the fleet and into the work groups. Thank you very much.
Yeah, as a point of clarification, Mayor, our intent is for them to either be absorbed with whoever takes over, or we absorb them back in
Okay.
with us, if they meet standards. So no guarantees there.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Let's see, next item, City Council Committee reports. We had a workshop session out at the airport this evening, and we had a discussion. We had several airplanes from Denver Air Connection demonstrating their aircraft, and we had a workshop session. basically run by Jeremy Patton, and it's a very interesting session. We had the county commissioners in attendance, and Jeremy Patton conducted the questions and answers and gave us a lot of information. So we'll have another session with the other airline company that is going to respond to the bids. Also, let's see. I attended a Southwest COG meeting on Zoom on January 27th, and there's been quite a change in leadership through the Southwest COG, and they are planning a board retreat. They're doing a poll to see which individuals would be available at a certain date, and so we will keep you informed of when that board retreat will take place. Are there any other committee reports from the council?
I did want to mention, I think especially to Arlena, I don't have school on Fridays now. I know we talked about me possibly attending the Parks and Rec things on Friday mornings.
I don't know if that's something we can talk about right now, but yeah, I would be open to trading off and giving that to you if you would like it. I don't know if there has to be a formal process for that.
Sorry, Mayor and Council, I'm not exactly sure what we're referring
You
to.
want to swap boards. He'll
Yeah,
take yours and
swap
you'll take
boards.
his. We just normally took volunteers in the beginning and then they were appointed. So I think we would just reappoint, if that's what you two want to do, we would just have council reappoint each of you to the respective boards so there's some authority behind your appointment.
Okay.
Would it be a hassle considering that we have an election coming up though in the next couple of months? It would be 3 more meetings, I guess, for me to attend at least. Okay. I think I'll just stick with it.
Okay. All righty. I guess that's settled. Any other committee reports? Okay. We'll adjourn this meeting. Thank you all for attending. Appreciate it.